Good morning, glorious morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Pitch Strike Chronicles. I'm Uncle Tats. I'm here at Rob and Donald celebrating the advancement on the Yankees. Heading to Toronto for the ALDS as we completely just had a pitcher on the mound that dominated. Historic performance. Cam Schlittler, the one we weren't sure if it was going to be him, Heel, Warren. Like, there was really you got to give. I actually want to start giving Boone credit for sticking with the rookie that has really been just that dominant arm in our arsenal, along with Frieden Rodon, because he could have easily gone to any of his other pitchers, and he went to the rookie, who only came up to the major leagues in July. So very little experience. I mean, he would Cam Schlittler. He had no panic in him whatsoever at all. And the Yankees actually took a page from their own book and capitalized on a lot of mistakes from Boston's defense. We've seen the script on the other side so many times, but here we are getting ready to go to the ALDS after winning 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. After game 1, everybody was saying, well, nobody's ever, lost the first game and won the wild card. Well, the Yankees are the first to do so with their dominance in game 3. And they're just the clutch plays all over. The clutch award is going to be a pain in the ass to call. There's just so many names that need to be recognized. It's really just go through the whole lineup, the whole pitching staff. Everybody just held their own. It was a great series overall, and I'm just especially that it was against Boston. After they're like, oh, we own you, we own you. Well, we're the ones going home. You're going home, we're not. So, haha on you. Rob, how are you feeling about it?
Oh man, Schlitted on him. That was fantastic. What a game by that kid. You can't say enough about him. That's probably the best pitching performance I've ever seen. If I had to go back and look at which ones I've seen like in person or watched on TV, but that's historic. Like, he's the first pitcher to ever do that. 8 innings, shutout, no walks, 12 Ks. That's insane. In an elimination game against your division rival in October. That's just unreal. And hats off to Cam Schlittler. That kid is he's a machine. He's a warrior. And credit to the Yankees development for getting him to that point, because it's a couple of years ago he was a guy that was known as he can touch 95. Well, now he's hitting triple digits with ease and just blowing it by him. So credit to him, credit to the development, and just tip of the cap to that kid, because without him, who knows what happens in that game. So absolutely the right call to go with him. I thought it would have been Heel, but the last couple of starts for both of those guys, Schlittler's stuff was more lively than Heel's. Heel's velocity was down, the strikeouts weren't there, where Schlittler's was up and the strikeouts were there. So hats off to him, man. That was incredible. After game 1, you really didn't think they'd, I don't know if they were down and out. It looked like it because it was just a badly played game, but they fought back. That's all you can ask for. They fought back at home. Remember what Stanton said at the beginning of the year, we don't get swept at home. They didn't get swept at home. They came back and took it. And to do it against those disgusting, dirty water drinking, cocaine snorting Dave Portnoy sons of bitches from Barstool, it just makes it so much better. Fuck Dave Portnoy. Fuck Boston. We finally got revenge on them. And we can celebrate today, but starting tomorrow, it's all about Toronto. But hell of a series. That was playoff baseball. Take the fandom aside for a second. Those were 3 games that were just nauseating, edge of your seat baseball, playoff baseball performances. And it's a game. Last night was a game that we're going to be thinking about and talking about for a very long time if this team makes a run. That decision to DFA Stroman and keep Schlittler in the rotation may go down as one of the best decisions Aaron Boone and the Yankees have made in a very long time. Because usually they'll stick with the veteran for far too long and let the kid rot in AAA. They didn't do that this time. And boy, oh boy, that was the right decision, because that kid just shoved it. 8 innings. They talked shit about his mother on Twitter, and he said, all right, I got you. And he just shoved it. That was oh my God, what a game. What a game.
To think it was all he was on. There was speculation if he was going to be in a trade for Suarez or Gallen, some of these these hot names that were in the trade deadline. And Cashman stayed the course. He's like, I trust this kid.
Now you see why they wanted him, right?
Yeah.
You see.
But, Donald, I know you spoke a lot about it last night, but for our morning audience, one, shout out to Donald with all the post-game shows. Big credit to you for putting the work in. I appreciate you. I know Rob does, and everybody in the community. So thank you for that. But let's give us your synopsis of what you were going through.
Well, this is my synopsis. Cam Schlittler is the first pitcher to go 8 scoreless innings with 12-plus strikeouts, 0 walks in a game in MLB postseason history. There you go. Just look at it and admire that.
It's all right. It's all right in front of us. You see it on the screen.
Just look at that and admire that. What else can you say? What else can you say about that? We witness history. He's got some stones, that kid. He's got some big stones. You saw him going off the mound just like, fuck Boston. Like, he just fucking hates them. I love it. I absolutely inject it in my bones, man. That was freaking great. Like, he just is motivated to shove it. And he did. Like, Schlittler's list, the first target on Schlittler's list was fucking Boston. And he took him out. With history, with a historic postseason performance. 12 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, 8 innings. And he did so with relative ease. Let's be honest. Like, he mowed them down. Didn't he? At the end, wasn't it was like 12 straight retired? He was just mowing them down with the ease of 99, 100, 101 mile an hour fastballs and dotting the corners on the biggest stage, in the world's biggest stage in baseball. And he did so on his very first start, completely unfazed. It was just like he was waiting for this moment his entire life. He was waiting for this moment because he grew up unlike those idiots on the TV that were saying that he grew up a Red Sox fan. No, he didn't grow up a Red Sox fan. He grew up a Yankees fan, but his family grew up Red Sox fans. Yeah. These guys are such fucking idiots. How do they get employed? Anyway, he grew up a Yankees fan, so like it was always in Massachusetts. So it was just like it was a dream for him. I think he was living a dream. He was just like, one day I'm gonna be on the mound. And I'm going to fuck Boston up. Something so serious that they're going to be crying for an entire year. And that's exactly what he fucking did. So, as Karen says here, he had a snarl on his face. He did, man. He's just like, fuck Boston. And, I mean, how can you not love that? Like, how can you not say, what's that term? How can you not be romantic about baseball? Yep. That's fairly romantic right there. You know what I'm saying? You grew up like surrounded by Red Sox fans, and it's like it's obviously a dream of his to wear that Yankee hat in the postseason and fuck Boston up and shut them all up, and especially those idiots that were saying something about his mother or whatever. But he just used it the right way. Did his talking on the field, and he's a Yankee legend from now on. Like, whatever happens, he is a Yankee legend because it's one of the more legendary performances that you will ever see. It was an absolutely legendary performance. And he's a fucking man. And that's why I didn't want him traded. I did not want him traded. I wanted him here. I wanted to. Those kind of pitchers do not grow on trees. The guy that with ease generates 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. With ease. The fact that you could do it with pitch-perfect location as well, that doesn't grow on trees. Cultivate that. Nurture it. And shout out to the Yankees for doing so, because they did. And they reaped the benefits of it. It was a magical performance. It was magical.
The way he was able to, and that's got to be another check for in the positive for Bone, letting him continue to stay out there, because it looked like after like the fifth, sixth inning, you started to see a little stirring in the bullpen, and it was like, no, we're just gonna run. And Boone wrote it out. He was like, look, because I think because you saw the face on TV with Cora, he didn't know what to do. You could just see like he just looked like a zombie. He's like, it doesn't matter what I'm going to put out there. This kid's on fire. And there was a comment in the chat earlier, and it's right. Cora gave a lot of credit to Cam. He goes, he was as perfect as he could be. And that's what you need from a postseason performance. And he's never had this stage before. He treated just like any other start, with just a little more at risk. And it just speaks to the poise and the confidence that Cam has in his stuff. I mean, when was the last time we had that dominant flamethrower? It's a short list with the Yankees of pitchers of that caliber, and it was just even as soon as they started making all the defensive miscues and the Yankees started put up that 4 spot. It was like at that point, Boom was like, I'm just going to leave this kid in there because they're not getting on base.
True.
What was it? It was Yoshi. That was the only one that was really able to get on base against him. Everybody else, if they got on base, it was stupid luck. Yoshi's the only one that really put an approach against him, and it didn't hurt Cam at all. So, yeah, I would have brought him out. And then everyone, oh my God, this is going to be his last batter. This is going to be his last. And they just kept letting him go and letting him go and letting him go. I'm like, all right, let the kid cook.
Facts.
Yeah, what was it after the 7th? And Boone said he's still throwing strikes. He's coming back out. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Boone that quick to make a decision to be like he's staying in the game. So a little bit of credit there to Boone, because I don't want to give him too much credit because he could bite us in the ass for doing that. But he stuck with them. I think he learned from the mistake he made in Game 1 with Fried, because he let Rodon probably stay in the batter too long in Game 2. But he said, look, Schlittler's dominating them. Why take him out? They can't hit him. And it was like you just said about Corey. He said, we had to be perfect because he was perfect. That was his quote. And he shut them down, man. Yoshida was the only one that really got to him. They had, 5 hits, and none of them were really game changers, because the defense was really good this series. Ryan McMahon flipping into the stands, and I like how they use that on Twitter. This morning they put victory, but his legs as the V, because he was sticking out of the dugout. And the defense was really good. Anthony Volpe probably had his best defensive performance he's had ever. He was actually saving Jazz a few times, because a few of those throws from Jazz were a little bit low and sometimes a little bit high. Ben Rice did a great job at first. Goldschmidt did his thing at first. Wells caught great games behind the plate. Defense was great. So it was kind of a flip, because it was the Red Sox that were making mistakes. And it was good to see that we finally were able to get one over on Cora, because usually it's Cora and the Red Sox that are taking advantage of the Yankees' mistakes, and we took advantage of theirs. Their defense was sloppy. It hit off of Nate Lowe's glove and went in for a 2-run hit. Bloop single. And what was it that Abreu said? It was so loud we couldn't hear. The stadium was so loud they couldn't hear each other in the outfield, so that's why the ball fell in on Bellinger's bloop hit. So little things like that. It was like the Yankees are usually the ones that make those miscues, and we flipped it on them, and we took advantage of it. Top that with an 8-inning shutout, historic performance that we've never seen before, and you've got a series win. So it was a well-played series. 3 games, Game 1, it wasn't really a badly played series. It was just bad offense, really. Yeah, it was just the offense had 2 chances, did not come through. And Game 2, they had one bigger hit than they did. And then yesterday, we only needed 1 run. That's how good Cam Schlittler was. They got 4, but they only needed 1. So just credit to the whole team for bouncing back, because we've seen them lay down when they have a tough loss like that. They didn't lay down. They actually got better. They were like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's get them. And they did. Revenge. It's the best. Was the dish best served cold? That's what it is. We got revenge on him, man. And Cam Schlittler at the forefront of it. And I love it.
Yeah, I want to. I also we talk about the starting pitcher. I just want to say, like, the Boston's rookie early. He actually pitched a pretty decent game. Like they were going pitch for pitch for a few innings now.
Yep.
So I just want to give a quick nod or tip of the cap to his performance to start the game, because you didn't know what to expect yesterday, and it was set for these two rookies to just put on a pitching duel for the ages in a win all playoff game. So I just want to give credit to Early that he held his own. His defense behind him failed, and that's what made him look bad. Because it could have easily they could have matched their scorecards.
He's going to be a problem for a while.
Yeah.
He's got really good stuff. Like he had us off balance for a long time. That could have been it was pitch for pitch for the first 4 or 5 innings. He looks good. He does look good, but Schlittler looked better, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difference is Schlittler could give you 8 innings of that. Early could only give you 3 or 4. That was the difference. And credit to the Yankees, man, because they actually picked up on his pitches around about the 3rd, 4th inning. He started to square up on his stuff a little bit more. But you are right. The Red Sox defense just wasn't there. They weren't making the plays, and the Yankees were. That was the difference in this series for me. I think the turning point, well, I mentioned yesterday, the turning point in this whole series was the 7th inning yesterday. That was the turning point when Boone might have cost us the series by letting Rodon pit 2 batters too late, pulled him 2 batters too late. Cruz had to pull off a Houdini act of all Houdini acts. But not just Cruz. Jazz with that diving play at second base, with an unbelievable diving play, because that saved a run. I think if that run scored, my prediction is the Red Sox would have won. That's what my belief is. And we'd be having a different conversation right now. That was how key that was from Jazz Chisholm, made that diving play. And then you also had the defense from Volpe was actually good. Volpe was good this series, very good. Playoff Volpe is a real conversation to have now. So I believe that 7th inning was the difference. That changed everything. We got out of that 7th inning, and then from that point on, the Yankees dominated them. They dominated the Sox. They dominated all yesterday. Really dominated them all yesterday. And from the key innings onwards in Game 2. So I do believe that 7th inning was the turning point. Aaron Boone his ass would be hanging from the rafters if that run scored. He's very fortunate. So, the Yankees bailed him out. But I'll give him credit for Game 3 because luckily he learned. And that's something that Boone doesn't necessarily do. But he actually learned from his error. And I love that he rode Schlittler out. Rode him out. But whatever, just go, bro. You're cooking. Just let him cook. And he let him cook. And it was great. He rode the momentum. He watched the game. He felt the game. That's all I've ever asked from my manager. Feel the game. And he did. That was a big difference right there. Felix, the Yankees picked up Rice, but to be fair, Rice picked up the Yankees in Game 2. It's a team effort. It's a team effort. That was another thing. And shout out to Karen in the chat last night. She pointed out that the stars of the series were the unheralded ones that many wanted thrown out the team. I mean, we start with Austin Wells. Caught a perfect series, in my opinion. It was perfect, great. And clutch hits, very clutch hits. Can't get much more clutch than Austin Wells was this series. Him, Anthony Volpe. I mean,
who saw that coming?
I'm not going to walk back.
No errors.
The guy was just a disgrace this season, like a disgrace. But playoff Volpe is a different story, man. Like, he made so many plays at short, multiple double plays, perfectly turned. A couple of double plays where you go, wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow, that was great. And he came up clutch too, so him as well. Then you look at Devin Williams, who, of course, cost us about 10 games anyway this year. Vital in game 2. Absolutely vital. Him. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and then McMahon. You know, a lot of people were like, why do we make that trade? This guy's ass. This guy can't hit. Blah, 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 blah. No, check out that defense. Check out that 360-degree fucking whirly twirl to make that catch and leap into the Red Sox dugout to make a heroic catch, Derek Jeter-esque catch. And he made several great plays defensively too. So it was really a team effort, and a lot of it was the unheralded guys that really stepped up, and can't say enough about them. It was a team effort.
Really goes to show you that the playoffs are a crapshoot, like they always say, because it wasn't the stars. Like Judge had a fine series, but he didn't have any game-changing moments, right? He had 4 singles, I believe. None of them really changed the game. They could have. A couple. He got hit in the hand yesterday with a chance to really bury them, but none of his hits were like, wow, that just broke the game open. Stanton had one hit that didn't go out of the ballpark, but it was a double. That's all he had. You know, it wasn't really the stars. It was, like you said, the guys that everyone wanted out of the team. I didn't want Volpe playing in the postseason, and he came through. Game 1, hits a home run off Crochet. Go imagine. That's why they say the playoffs are a crapshoot. It's unpredictable. Anything can happen. Now, you still want your stars to come through because we're going to need them. I think the Yankees, they hit like 2 home runs this entire series. It was Volpe and Rice, if I'm not mistaken. Everything else was just via like base hits and kind of bloops, taking advantage of bad defense. Sometimes it's how you have to get the W's in October, but you still need that power. So we're still going to need Judge. We're still going to need Stanton. Luckily, Stanton's at-bats looked a lot better yesterday than the first 2 games. I think he's starting to get that swing back. Good, because we need him for Toronto. But it was a lot of the unheralded. That's a perfect word, because who would have thought going into this, like, Luke Weaver's going to shit the bed, but Devin Williams is going to save it. And that's exactly what happened. Who would have thought that sitting Caballero and playing Volpe turned out to be the right decision? Playing Rosario over McMahon turned out to be the right decision. So, hey, who would have thought? But that's why they say the freaking playoffs, anything can happen there. After no one came back from 1-0 in the wild card until we did it. So playoffs are in fact a crapshoot. Now the Yankees use it as an excuse too many times. That's when they say that's an excuse to why they lose. But it should be used as a reason to think anything can happen because the playoffs are so unpredictable. One bad pitch. Crochet had one bad pitch that entire night, and Volpe took it over the wall. And that could have been the moment that we could have swept them. But, things happened in game 1. It's just, Volpe, you rang the doorbell. Anyway, I don't know what John's talking about. But yeah, just credit to the team because everyone...
Okay, bro?
Anyone
says did not like Stanton staring at the ball and not running. Let's be fair. I think every one of us thought that was a home run.
And the fact that he got to second's impressive.
Yeah. To be fair to Stanton, I know I'm always going to defend Stanton, but I did say in the post game it will never happen again. And that's all I've ever asked. You're going to make mistakes. I'm not asking for someone to be perfect. I'm just asking for someone to be accountable. And Stanton was very accountable. He says, don't do that at home, kids. Run it out. So he said that, even though he looked like he was a little buzzed. Good for him. He's fucking happy. He should be. He said, don't do that at home, kids, and it won't happen again. I fucking love that, man. That guy is incredibly accountable. And by the way, I think every one of us thought that was a home run.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that if that was in the summer, that was like fucking 3 rows back. That was like
that's over the bullpen.
Super gone. Yeah. That's super duper gone.
It was a home run in 15 of 30 ballparks.
Right. And I love the fact that Stanton holds himself accountable. And to Rob's point, I feel very good about Stanton because I thought his at-bats were much better yesterday. Even that walk, sometimes it's not your hit. Sometimes it's the walk. It means that you're seeing your pitches. And he was seeing pitches much better. And he wasn't getting himself out. So that double was great. I feel pretty good that all that work that he did pregame, because there was a lot of talk that he was doing a lot of pregame work in the batting cage. I think it worked. I just love how accountable he is, man. I think it's a breath of fresh air, especially in the modern era in sports where you get a lot of prima donnas, and you got Big G, who's just a straight up dude. You know what I'm saying? He's just a straight up dude that's just like works hard, and if he does make a very rare mistake, and that mistake didn't cost us anything, he got to second base, so didn't it literally wasn't a problem. He still said that it'll never happen again. I love that. So I like how accountable this team is, and I do like the team spirit, and I do like that everybody pitched in and helped each other this series. And picked them up when they make a mistake. Aaron Boone made a mistake, the team picked him up, and that was just kind of the story of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Volpe picked up guys. Wells picked up guys. Bednar was just a beast. Every single game, man, he was just mowing people down. And Schlittler carried the whole team on his back in that game last night. So it was a team effort.
No, it was definitely a team effort, and that's what made this series, that more exciting to watch. Because I'm getting text messages from friends that are Met fans saying that this is the type of postseason excitement you should be getting in every series. Like the Yankees and the Red Sox put on a postseason show in these 3 games that we haven't seen in a long time. So, because there was no clear-cut winner. Like one bounce of a ball or a call really could have set the series in multiple directions, which really made it just more intense and more exciting to get the win, more rewarding.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they can enjoy something while they're in their tears of misery. Fucking Mets fans, they're still yapping, even though they got eliminated. But this ain't about them. This is about us. We took it. We beat the Red Sox, and now they're crying about it. You guys are celebrating like you won the World Series. Like they wouldn't have done the same thing had they won the series. You fucking morons. This is why I really, really hate that fucking cocaine addict from Barstool, because he's making it seem like the Yankees beating the Red Sox is no big deal when he said like 2 weeks ago, we really owned this team. I hope one of those pieces of pizza he eats burns the roof of his mouth so bad that he can never taste pizza ever again. And the only thing he can enjoy is a line of cocaine. And I hope it really hurts his nose. I hate that guy. I hate his company. I hate every single thing about that company, especially him. But I love their misery. I love it. Him and that Jared guy, they're all making it seem like this is no big deal. It's no big deal. We lost to the Yankees, but had you beat the Yankees, you would have been talking about how we're your daddy and you can't beat us. We went to your house, and all those idiots were chanting, "Let's go Red Sox" after the game, which, by the way, letting them do that bothered me. But, yeah, fuck Boston. It is harsh, Jason, but I hate them. I hate Barstool Sports, and I hate Dave Portnoy so goddamn much.
There it is there. Yankees celebrating wild card with champagne, poverty franchise. Shut up, you fucking leprechaun fuck.
Look, he makes it sound like the Red Sox didn't have champagne in their clubhouse in case the game went the other way. Because, like you said, they would have been having the same celebration, and they would have even been more arrogant and annoying because it was in the Bronx. So I don't want to hear from any of the Red Sox fans that, well, this was your World Series. Well, we're the ones that are still in it for the World Series. So fuck you.
It's the best way to put. Do I want to move to? Why the fuck would I? No, I don't want to move to Boston. Why?
think your dad's pushing your buttons, bro.
What I want to move to Boston for? Why don't you go to Boston? You have fun. You have fun in Beantown with the rest of those fucking idiots. But yeah, again, this ain't
I
about
think there's two places. I don't think I couldn't think of a bigger hell for Rob than Canada and Boston.
conveniently. That's what we play next. But add England to that list as well, and you've got the
Add
big
England
three.
to that list. That's right. 3 places.
I would never step foot in.
Eight.
We have talked about players that are stepping up, unexpected results from the series from players. Let's break down how because a lot of the spotlight was on Judge. What was Judge going to be able to do? Was he going to be able to start a new script or new narrative for his postseason run? What did we get away from how Judge played? Are we satisfied? I mean, obviously, we want more. It would have been nice to see him go yard or get an extra base hit. But I think that his approach at the plate was more relative to how he was approaching at the regular season. And he didn't. To me, this is my opinion. I don't think he tried to change his game for the postseason, which is why he was on base a lot more than he normally would for this time of year.
He did fine. I mean, he got a first inning hit against Crochet, which could have been a statement inning, but they couldn't get the job done. And then he came through in the ninth in that game, which could have been the decisive inning in terms of a sweep. So, yeah, the home run would have been great, but had he not come through in those spots, they would have been saying, here we go again, playoff Judge. He's not going to do anything. But to follow up the leadoff hit in the ninth with the hit of his own against Chapman, of all people, it's kind of what you want because it set us up to have bases loaded, nobody out. In any other situation, they're going to at least score a run, but they didn't do it. He did fine. He did fine. Would you have liked a home run or at least an RBI or something? I think he did have a rib because Duran couldn't make the catch, but would you have liked more? Sure, but I think at that point you're kind of reaching for a little too much. Like he gave you probably his best playoff series since 2019, so I think we need to be like, all right, he did a good job. Other people did their jobs, and we won the series. So more of that, and I think we're going to be okay. But yes, you still want a little bit more from Judge moving forward. Like we're going to need him to get some big hits against Toronto. That's a fact. It's a 5-game series. We're going to need all hands on deck, and you absolutely need Aaron Judge. That's why I said before the playoffs, even though there's more people that can pick him up this time around, you're still going to need 99 to come through. And he did come through a couple of times, but it was kind of lacking that big game-changing hit. And we're going to need that moving forward.
Yeah, I think he was on the precipice of that, but he got hit by the pitch. You just saw it because the Red Sox were struggling at that point. And
they wanted no part of him. That was intentional.
It kind of looked that way to me. I think that was like one of the only pitches that were inside.
Right, the entire game, like their location was spot on.
Him away.
Here comes Judge, up and in. Like,
yeah, Aaron Judge, he was fine. I'm not gonna blow too much smoke up his ass. I thought he was okay. For his standards, it wasn't like a great series. It was fine. He wasn't great yesterday. Didn't really do too much. Then, of course, the RBI single that he got, that came from an error. I don't even know how that wasn't called an error, to be honest. I didn't have like a 99.5% catch probability or something. So, I mean, I'm not going to blow too much smoke up his ass. I think he was okay. But one thing I do know is that's not going to fly against Toronto. The levels are much higher now. The stakes are much higher. He needs to be Aaron Judge. We will not survive without Aaron Judge being at least close to Aaron Judge. So delighted that the team picked everybody up and that the role players did their job, but we need the stars to do their job against Toronto. Toronto are a much better team than Boston. They are a much better team than Boston, much better offense. So it's going to be a different level. It's going to be a much different level. So I do need a little bit more from Judge. I know you're going to say, oh, but he batted 300. Yeah, it was fine. He wasn't bad at all. He was fine. But he certainly wasn't feared at the plate. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't striking too much fear in people. So we do need Jared Judge to strike some fear in people if we're going to do anything against Toronto. So it was okay. It was fine. It was fine. Wouldn't say any more than that.
Yep. And before we get into the upcoming series, let's close out with the Boston series. Donald, I think we're ready for an award segment.
Ooh, it's been a while. What's going on, everybody? We bring back an award segment for the playoffs. This is nice. This is nice. I'm feeling that. Kind of feeling that. It's nice. All right, let's go with the MVP. MVP for me, well, it's pretty easy. Cam Schlittler. Rob.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against Schlittler, but I think there's some other people deserving. That's why we have a low-key MVP. But you can't overlook what Cam Schlittler did. That was unbelievable, historic. Again, you make history in the playoffs against the Red Sox, you're getting the award every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tats?
Yeah, it was Cam Schlittler. There's no other. I mean, I'm with Rob because it was really bouncing a few names back and forth last night between MVP, low-key, clutch, my boy. I mean, you could really insert any name. But when you put an outing like that as a rookie, that puts you right in the forefront of recognition.
I think the more interesting award will be the low-key MVP because there are so many different names that you can fly out. And I don't really think there's a wrong answer. And that's what the chat's already jumping into. So I'm going to go in last. I'm going to give Rob the floor. Who's your low-key?
Anthony Volpe. That little Italian fuck, he came through when no one thought he would. He did it. He did it. Homer off of Crochet. His defense was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Down to the last minute detail. There's a Homelander reference for you guys. That was the best series he's played all season. Even when he was absolutely raking at the plate early on. This was his best series. In the big moments, he came through. How many times did we see him fuck up some of those throws in the regular season? Not being able to make some of those catches on the low throws. Because, like I said earlier, Jazz was great, but some of his throws to second were a little scary, but Volpe kind of bailed them out. His defense was flawless. He put up great at-bat after great at-bat. A couple of clunkers, but that's baseball. Overall, just a great series. And I didn't even want him playing, so he shut me up. And I'm glad he did. What a great series for him. And hopefully it's something that we can look forward to every October. That's why I just want him to be an average player in the regular season. We can look forward to playoff Volpe instead of being an absolute dud for 162 games and be like, oh, well, at least we have October. But what a series, and I'm glad he had it because it gets his confidence up, and maybe we can see a little bit more of that moving forward.
Spot on in every facet there, Uncle Taz. Who's your low-key?
I gave mine to Wells. I thought his approach at the plate was solid, but also his work with the pitching staff. He gave us a series, much like Volpe did, to Rob's credit, with his decision. But Wells also gave us that series of something we've been looking for from him all year. And if this is how the postseason is going to look from him, then I'm all in on Wells staying behind the plate.
Yeah, very good point too. The chat is blown up with this, and I think they want to see me go with Anthony Volpe because they know that I'm the world's biggest Volpe hater. Donnie Clark, low-key Volpe. Duran's like, come on, Donald, give it up. You gotta give Volpe the low-key. Although TC is like low-key Wells. John the Beagle Dad says, damn straight postseason Volpe. He's a low-key. Jonathan, low-key Volpe and Wells. Mario Lopez, Volpe. So I think Volpe wins the low-key from the chat. I think we can all say
I think that's a given.
Everyone's getting very excited about Volpe. I am going to give it to Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm is my low-key MVP. That's right. Remain a hater to the end. No, I'm kidding. No, Jazz Chisholm is actually my low key because the reason why is because of that unbelievable play in the seventh inning where he dived and he saved a run, and then his base running where he ran like Usain Bolt to score from first on a single. Yeah, fuck you, Don. Fuck you too, brother. Thank you so much. In the nicest way possible, of course. Jazz running from first, like Usain frickin' Bolt to score that go-ahead run. That was it, man. That was it. Like Jazz was the MVP of Game 2, not the series. Well, I mean that was pretty big, though, uh, and he proved why you can't sit him. He proved why you can't sit him. That's why it was the stupidest decision. And one of the stupidest decisions I've come across was benching your All-Star second base. That's why you don't do it. The guy, but the guy was pissed. But he channeled that being angry in the right way. He took it out on the Red Sox rather than made it about himself. He took it out on the Red Sox, and I thought his defense was perfect. And I loved his base running. He had a hit yesterday as well that could have scored a run. So for me, low key, Jazz Chisholm. Defense, base running, quality of at bats. He had the whole freaking thing. But let's not say that Volpe didn't deserve it as well. Austin Wells. Let's not say that Austin Wells didn't deserve it.
It's tough to decide
I
sometimes.
believe that there is a wrong answer because you could also say, how could you not say Bednar coming in and saving multiple games and just being an absolute beast? So I really don't think there was a wrong answer, but I have to give Jazz Chisholm the credit for that base running. The score from first base, that was the key. Let's move on to the clutch award. That I'm going to start first. That I'm giving to Austin Wells. Multiple clutch hits in the biggest moment. Austin Wells was remarkably clutch. So that's my clutch award. Rob.
This one I'm giving to Jazz, and obviously I think Wells is included in this because that play that Jazz made to save a run saved the series. And that was mentioned by you earlier, and I think everyone that watched that play knows that's what saved this series. And then him scoring from first obviously gave us the game-winning run. But I got to give a shout to Austin Wells because without him at the plate, that was a tough pitch to hit. It was out of the zone. He kind of just laced it, hits off the side of the wall. Jazz is screaming 9 seconds from first to home. That's pretty damn fast. And I got to give it to Jazz Chisholm because he really did step up. Like you said, he could have been down and out. He took out his frustrations in MLB The Show. I love that. And then he came back and beat up on the Red Sox. And that was a great series from him. But those two plays, the stop at second and the run from first to home, clutch as you can get. In a series that, like you said earlier, Tats, had a lot of clutch moments. But I think again, there's no wrong answer here. And Rosario as well, you're right, Doran, because that started the rally, really. That started the runs. So a lot of choices, but I think Jazz was just... To me, Jazz was the top choice.
To run 9 seconds from first is pretty remarkable. And also considering apparently Brandon Tierney says that he jogged for the first 10 steps. Wow, so maybe it would have been 8 seconds. What do you want from the guy? He fucking incredible. No, I thought that was amazing. Uncle Tats.
Like I said, there were so many. It's easy to go. There's really no wrong answer, but the name just came up. I actually gave mine to Rosario. I thought that he, it could have easily been Volpe or Jazz, right? And sometimes you have to look a little deeper in to really see like who really stepped up. I thought Rosario, somebody that we even forgot was on the roster for most of his tenure here this year. You never even knew he was around. To step up in the his at bats, his approach at the plate, his defense. I thought that Rosario actually had a really, really good series for us. So this is the opportunity I found to give him a little credit.
Yep.
Absolutely agree with that. The pitching award. To be fair, there's not really a wrong answer at all, but I'm going to pass it to Rob first.
I mean, you kind of have to acknowledge what all three starters did, but I do want to bring up this comment that I saw earlier. I started from 13 bar performance. This is a very good point. His average fastball as a freshman was 88. It went up to 90. Last night it was 98. Like I mentioned earlier, give some credit to that Yankee development staff, because Cam Schlittler was a kind of an unknown in this system going into the season. You can ask a lot of people, who was Cam Schlittler? I don't know. Can you name the 4 pitchers the Yankees took ahead of him in the draft? Do you know what pick he was in our draft in 2022? I can name them. I'm asking if anyone can tell me.
No clue. Well,
Drew Thorpe, who's not here anymore. Tristan Freeling, who's not here anymore.
Wow.
Chase Hampton, who's hurt. And Eric Reiselman, who's kind of struggled. He was a 7th round pick, Jonathan. But those were the 4 pitchers.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro?
They were all taken ahead of him. And it goes to show you that any one of these guys can be developed. And there's more like him in the system. So I just want to make that point be known. There's more. Carlos Legrande might even throw harder. So that's why the Yankees system is highly underrated, because a lot of these guys just come up out of nowhere. So credit to the system, credit to the development, credit to Cam Schlittler. As good as Max Fried was, as good as Rodon was, you can't overlook a historic performance. So I'm doubling up on Cam Schlittler.
Great trade trivia for Cruz. That's a very good point, Don. Uncle Tats.
I had the entire pitching staff. I think everybody.
Do you mean the rotation or the entire
rotation? The back end of the bullpen. I thought really they were the glue that held it all together, and their work with Wells, trusting that their offense was going to put up runs at some point. I think the pitching really was the highlight of the series. And we were able to get runs across, but from some poor fielding from Boston. But they always say, they say pitching wins you championships, and we were not able to show off any of our power with the bats, but the pitchers showed up, and they are the biggest reason why we are where we are right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't go on awards without mentioning Max Fried. He was denied doing what Cam Schlittler did by Aaron Boone. And I have to give the award to Max Fried. I've given the MVP at Cam Schlittler. He is the MVP. He carried the team on his back. But Max Fried set the tone.
He was fantastic.
And there was nothing he did that was even remotely wrong. And then Aaron Boone just bumbling with, he struggled in the 4th and the 5th. Shut the fuck up, you fucking moron. Max Fried was an absolute bulldog, and he got robbed. He got robbed by his manager and that fucking idiot Weaver. Otherwise, we'd be talking about Max Fried. So I'm giving the pitching award to Max Fried. That guy's an absolute bulldog, and I can't wait to see what he does against Toronto. Right, let's get to the fun one. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. You're my boy, Blue. All right. Rob, who's your boy, Blue?
Do I give it to Schlittler again? I don't think I can.
Right?
Three awards for Schlittler. That's how good he was. Just as a fan of the farm system, but I got to go Anthony Volpe again. I got to give it to Anthony Volpe again. He had a great series, and you know what? I gave up on him.
Bias going on. There's some Italian bias.
No, trust me. I'm. Let me tell you. Quick little sidebar. I'm getting real sick of all these Italians getting popular on the internet because there's too many of them. Well, you grew up Italian. Did you have those cookies in your grandmother's bin? They're so annoying. But no, it's not about that. It's just he can't. Yeah, I know that the Volpe love is making him lose his mind. But
I know it's
he just. I defended him for so long, and he he was so bad that I couldn't defend him no more. And then he comes back just when I thought I was out. He pulls me back in. Fucking Italian ref. Here we go again with the Italian stuff. I'm not beating the allegations, but no, he came through in multiple occasions in this series. So I mean, I can't think of anyone else that's like, that's my boy besides Schlittler. And I don't want to give a third award to Schlittler. And since it's always been about prospects in a sense,
Yeah.
don't give me answer like my dad does. There's no way he's getting it. That
Wow.
buffoon, he's not getting it.
Wow.
But yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just so remarkable that we even have that it does need to be pulled up. My boy Blues Boone. Dude, he almost cost you the series. He would have got swept if Aaron Boone had his way. But maybe it was ironic. Maybe that was a little bit of. You're a funny guy. Rob's dad. You're hilarious.
What do you mean he's funny?
Uncle Taz.
Oh shit!
Uncle Tats. There you go.
Whew.
Are you okay?
No, my boy, I have Jazz. I thought he had a phenomenal series. He could have won multiple awards, as he's already been recognized in a few of them. But I was one of those. Well, he was so annoying to me with his mouth, the way he was running it, and I was very critical of him. And I'm like, look, if you're gonna open your mouth, you got to back it up.
Well, you backed it up already.
And he backed it up, and he gave me what I asked for. So you're my boy, Jazz.
I like that. There's a couple of names. One, I'm seriously considering giving it to Cruz.
That maniac.
That absolute maniac, man. I mean, could you imagine
Did you
a
see the way
room?
he puffs out?
Yeah, could you imagine a room with Cruz and Cam Scatterbo?
The room wouldn't exist after 5 minutes.
They would blast through it.
Yeah.
Like a Tasmanian devil in those cartoons. It's like, wall wouldn't exist. I fucking love Cruz, man. That guy is a complete maniac. And he's built for New York. And he's everything that's like that you've just fallen in love with. So I'm edging towards him because what he did was, I mean, he saved the game. He saved the game. There's no doubt about it. And let's not forget, runs are at a premium in the postseason. You're not going to get 10 spots. You know, every run counts. And Cruz kept them at 0. And his energy that he brought to a deflated-looking dugout, he changed it. So he's getting half of it. The other half, I'm giving to Cam Schlittler. Fuck Boston.
Love it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love it. Couldn't love it any more. The L. Uncle Tats.
Giving the L to myself. I made a statement before the series started that Volpe being in these games is an automatic loss to this club because that's just how bad he was playing. Where I forgot all about how he steps up in the postseason, and I was on multiple channels saying Volpe should be nowhere. He shouldn't even be allowed in the stadium. He was, I wanted Caballero that short so bad because I had no faith in Volpe, and he's, and Volpe, we all see the numbers, yeah. And I got to take the L on it. I was wrong.
Yeah, everyone did well, man. They're on. Even Devin fucking Williams did well. Lou says the L goes to Weaver. Donnie says Weaver. Right. TC says L goes to Weaver. Rob, who's your L going to?
I mean, in a series where there weren't a lot of fuck-ups, he had the biggest fuck-up. And I hate it that it had to be, hey, Sierra.
Hey, Sierra.
I hate that it had to be Weaver because I love Luke Weaver. He's a guy that brings that energy that you want on a team, but he's been bad. And I can give a lot of hate to Boone for putting him in that spot, knowing that he's been struggling. I can give a lot of crap to Boone for being the reason he's probably hurt this year. But Weaver needed to come through. He didn't come through, and there are a few L's for the Yankees in this series, and unfortunately, he's probably the biggest L of the series. I hope he turns it around.
Sierra says no L's this week. Great series overall. The Yankees stood on business. For me, there was only 2 people that did anything that you could remotely constitute as an L. One would be Weaver. The other is Aaron Boone. But to be fair, Aaron Boone did redeem himself. He redeemed himself. So it's not this show ain't biased. We will always call it as we see it. Aaron Boone redeemed himself. He had a very good Game 3. Credit to him for that. However, I'm still me. So let's not forget that the team had to overcome Aaron Boone, because Aaron Boone was basically 80% at fault for losing Game 1, and Game 2, misreading the game with Rodon was incredibly risky and very, very risky. And Cruz saved his ass. So my L. And then when Aaron Boone was asked about Max Fried and why he pulled him, he was like, "Oh, he struggled in the 4th and the 5th and the 6th a little bit, and it was just this the bumbling. What the fuck are you talking about? No, he didn't. What are you talking about? Guy pitched a 4-hit shutout. You moron." So I'm giving the L to Aaron Boone. I'm sorry. We had to overcome Aaron Boone in many occasions. He did outmanage Cora in games 2 and 3. So I'm not. That's why he's not the Aaron Hicks. But the L for me goes to Aaron Boone, because we can't survive if we do like he did in Game 1. That's my opinion. Is it fair or is it harsh?
I think it's fair. There's only 2 L's, in my opinion, for the series, and he's one of them. That's why I just...
Yeah. But, I mean, it's not hating on him, because I think he redeemed himself, and I'm happy that he did. Thank God for that. Should we get to the final one? I believe it's the Aaron Hicks Award. Am I right about that, or am I missing anyone?
Or the Boone Award, too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Boone Award! Damn, that's a good one, Tats. I don't know, because he did do fairly well, but I also just gave him the L, so I'll just give him a 5. 5 out of 10. Rob.
I'm sticking with my earlier statements that I'm not going to give him anything above a 4 until he goes out and wins the whole thing. So, 4. His decision in Game 1 could have easily cost us a series.
Amen. See, I gave him a higher grade than Rob. There you go. I don't feel that bad. Uncle Tats.
Wow. I had him originally. I just had a 2 on my in my notes forever.
Nice.
But it had gone up to, after we won Game 2, it went up to a 5. You know, I'm like, all right, and then after him allowing Cam to stay in,
that's cool.
trusting the players that he was putting the trust in, but I also think they won despite of his decisions.
Agreed, completely.
So I gave him a 6. I'll give him above a 5 only because of Cam, but I don't think he had made any miraculous decisions besides that.
Amen.
That are why this team is advancing.
Yeah. Exactly. I'd say it's a very good point. Aaron Hicks Awards. There he is. Hate to bring that guy's face into something so triumphant. But I'll keep it quick, keep it short and sweet. Weaver. I thought Weaver was the Aaron Hicks Award. He was utterly dreadful. Utterly dreadful. Rob.
Man. ESPN was a pretty terrible broadcast all weekend, but I've shit on them too much. It goes back to my earlier hate. Dave Portnoy and the Boston Red Sox fan base in general. Going after Cam Schlittler's mother? What's the matter with you? Because she's rooting for her son? That's what you're doing? That's what you're doing? And I'm so glad that Cam Schlittler shoved it. And then what did he say after the game? Champagne over dirty water.
Woo! Let's go.
What did he say to that Red Sox fan earlier today on Twitter? She said, Red Sox in 3. He said, not this year. He's going at their throats. And he said it coming off the mound. Fuck Boston. That kid's got to be a Yankee for life. Everything I said during the trade season, when I said I would move him for this. No. I'll eat those words. You keep him. He's a Yankee for life.
Good one. Boston for not helping McMahon.
Yeah, fuck them too. But we shoved it. Schlittler shoved it, and the Yankees shoved it right back to him. Fuck them. Fuck the Red Sox. Fuck Boston. Fuck Barstool. Fuck Dave Portnoy. Fuck cocaine. Fuck the pizza that he eats. And fuck the Red Sox one final time.
Oh my God. That was hot. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Uncle Tats.
I had Portnoy in the fans, but I can't match the energy that Rob just fucking brought. So fuck Boston.
Do you know what? I'm changing my award. I think you're right. I'm changing my fucking award. I'm gonna change my award to Boston. I don't know what I was thinking. How could I forget the fucking awful organization that we just beat? Thank fuck. So I'm going to share this little video with you guys.
Fuck Boston forever! Fuck Boston! Fuck Boston forever! Fuck Boston! Fuck Boston forever!
There you go. That's I think that says it all. I think that says it all. Fuck Boston forever. That's they get the Aaron Hicks. What am I fucking talking about? Weaver can take the L along with Boone. He sounds like you, Donald. That was me. Yes, I have lost weight. But yeah, I was. That was when the Knicks beat up on the Celtics.
Might have to give John an L award for that one.
Yeah,
it's Donald's twin brother.
He sounds like you, Donald. Yeah, funny that, because it fucking was me. Funny that. Yeah. So that was a great time, and this was just as good. Fuck Boston forever. Absolutely. Fucking cocaine addict, fucking ginger, fucking leprechaun motherfucks. And your fucking vile sports teams. And your vile attitude towards people. Awful.
Well, doesn't matter. We're the ones that are we're still playing. Boston's sitting home. All you whiny Met fans, that thought that this was your town. You're sitting home. The Yankees are the ones that are going to Toronto in the divisional series, and if they're able to keep this momentum and this energy that they have, and this confidence in what they've been able to do, I think this is just look. Phase 2 is complete. We got to the postseason. We advanced to the next round. So now we go to phase 3 in the divisional series. And as much as Toronto can be a pain in the ass, they have their weaknesses too. So I think this is going to be just as intense as a series, but it's going to really come down to what Stanton and Judge were able to do together.
Yeah, all kidding and Boston jokes aside, they do need to take care of business. Toronto's a damn good team, and they got some boppers that are good that fucking shit on us constantly. So we need the stars. This time we need the stars to come through. Not every single time. It doesn't have to be like, oh, it's just Judge and Stanton. It can't be a 2-man show. It's still got to be a 9-man performance. And we need the pitching to step up. But you need Judge. You need Stanton. We need Bellinger. I hope he's okay, because it was mentioned earlier in the chat he was limping around a bit in that last out.
What's going on with that? Is he okay?
I hope so. That's all I know.
Nothing's been said about it. I don't know if maybe he just kind of tweaked his ankle.
He seemed fine during the celebration.
Yep.
Spraying dudes with the freaking champagne all day, so hopefully he's all right.
Winning cures all.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I just hope he's all right. But we need the guys to step up. We need the stars. Did he tell you, Donnie? He called you and told you. So yeah, we just hope he's okay, and then we need those guys to step up.
Bailey is fine. I did actually read that they think that he's doing some treatment. I think they say that they're confident he'll be available for tomorrow.
We need him.
Oh yeah, we need him. and you're right. We do need the stars to all step up. But we did it, man. And also another thing. Shout out to the younger generation, because this is the first time that you guys have seen the Yankees beat the Red Sox, because you haven't seen it in the Aaron Boone era. You haven't seen the Yankees overcome the Red Sox in the Aaron Boone era. I think this is the first time, right? This is actually the first time in a while. And now, obviously, for us three that are considerably longer in the tooth, it was fairly routine. But
like, we used to get this every year.
Yeah, but it's amazing how life changes. It's amazing how baseball changes, because it's not been routine. It's been anything other than routine ever since Aaron Boone became manager. Sorry, since since 2018. But yeah, we got a really good, we got a hell of a series. That was what a dream postseason series was, man. It was one of those hide behind the couch, fucking live and breathe every pitch, raise your heart rate kind of shit. It was extremely, extremely tight. And that's what it was. As you say, what can I say at the start? How can you not be romantic about baseball? That was romantic, and it was a hell of a freaking romantic end when Cam Schlittler shoved it so far in their fucking asses. Bye-bye, Boston.
And we're going to see how the next series goes. I think that things are in our favor. We have the momentum. They've been sitting. They've been resting. We're curious to see how Boone's going to announce the pitching situation. Who's going game 1, game 2, game 3? I
think Cerise Hill.
I think I saw somewhere it was going to be Hill, Fried, Rodon, but
they're undecided. They said,
undecided.
It shouldn't be Warren. I don't think it should be Warren, because he's.
Oh God, no! Come on.
Yeah, it's between him and Hill.
In case of glass, then in case of emergency, break glass and get Warren on the mound. Otherwise, just leave him in the pen.
Because I don't think you can put Fried on short rest, because historically he's been pretty rough in that spot. It's between Warren and Hill, and they have to go Hill.
Yeah.
Hill's stuff is just better than Warren's. I think Warren's okay for the bullpen role. Keep him on the roster, but you got to start game 1 with Hill.
But we'll see. I'm hyped up about it. It sucks that there's no baseball tonight, but
I'm all right with it. I think we all could do a break. I think we all need to
catch our breaths. But no, it's tomorrow's going to be all. It's the hype is just going to be right back again, and it's get ready for another battle. This is not going to be. This is not the AL Central. This is not an easy route to the playoffs. So with that, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the playoffs, because every series has really been fun to watch. So keep an eye on what's going on. Also, this way you at least have an idea of who you're up against. But with that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out with your friends, your family. The stream is on the corner. I am Uncle Taz with Rob Donald from the Pinstripe Chronicles. And just remember, wear those pinstripes of pride and play hard.